Title: I Dance with My Scared Boss. Then she whispered, "Please don't leave me." Below is a detailed story outline suitable for a ~1, 200-word YouTube narration. I dance with my scared boss. Then she whispered, "Please don't leave me." The music had barely started when my boss looked at me with terrified eyes. She wasn't afraid of dancing. She was afraid of what would happen after the song ended. At that moment, I had no idea the woman everyone called cold, ruthless, and impossible to please was carrying a secret that would change both of our lives forever. My name is Ethan, and until 6 months ago, I worked as an event coordinator for one of the largest hotels in the city. Our general manager, Victoria Lawson, had a reputation that scared everyone. She expected perfection. She never smiled. She knew every employee's mistakes before they even reached her desk. People quit because of her. I almost did too. But there was one strange thing about Victoria. Whenever she thought nobody was watching, she looked incredibly lonely. One Friday afternoon, the hotel hosted its annual charity gala. Hundreds of wealthy guests filled the ballroom. Crystal chandeliers sparkled above us, while a live orchestra played soft jazz. Everything had to be perfect. Halfway through the evening, disaster struck. One of the celebrity guests canceled the opening dance at the last minute. The organizers panicked. The donors were waiting. The ballroom had fallen awkwardly silent. Then Victoria looked directly at me. "Ethan," she said, "can you dance?" I blinked. "A little. Come with me." Before I could protest, she led me onto the dance floor. Hundreds of people stared. I could hear whispers spreading across the room. "The boss is dancing with an employee." The orchestra began playing a slow waltz. I was nervous. She was trembling. Her hands were ice cold. "You okay?" I whispered. She forced a smile. "I'm trying." We moved carefully across the floor. To everyone's surprise, she danced beautifully. Elegant, graceful, almost effortless. But every few seconds, she glanced toward the ballroom entrance, as if she expected someone to walk in. When the music ended, the audience erupted into applause. She leaned closer. Her voice shook. "Please don't leave me." I froze. "What?" "Stay nearby tonight." She walked away before explaining anything. The rest of the evening felt strange. Victoria stayed professional, but I noticed something new. She kept checking security cameras. She asked guards to patrol more often. She jumped whenever her phone vibrated. Around midnight, most guests had left. I found her standing alone on the rooftop terrace. The city lights reflected in her eyes. She looked exhausted. "I'm sorry about earlier," she said. "You shouldn't have had to hear that. You looked frightened." I was. She hesitated for several seconds. Then she finally spoke. "My ex-husband found me." I didn't interrupt. He spent years controlling every part of my life. When I finally escaped, I changed cities. I rebuilt everything. This hotel. My career. My confidence. But yesterday, he sent me flowers. My heart sank. He knows where I work. She admitted she hadn't told many people. Not even senior management. She feared everyone would see her as weak. I looked at the strongest woman I'd ever worked with. For the first time, I saw someone who was simply scared. The next morning, I arrived early. A bouquet of black roses sat outside her office. No card. Just one sentence. "You can't hide forever." Victoria quietly called the police. They increased patrols, but couldn't do much without direct evidence. Over the next 2 weeks, The messages continued. Flowers, letters, anonymous phone calls. She became quieter each day. Employees assumed she was becoming stricter. They didn't realize she wasn't angry. She was exhausted. One evening, I found her working alone, long after everyone had left. You should go home, I said. So should you. I'll leave when you do. For the first time, she laughed. A tiny laugh. But real. That became our routine. Nobody should leave the building alone. Not while someone dangerous might be watching. Weeks later, security cameras finally captured the ex-husband entering the hotel parking lot. Police arrested him for violating a protective order from another state. The nightmare was finally over. Victoria disappeared for several days. When she returned, she looked different. Still confident. Still professional. But lighter. She called an all-staff meeting. I owe everyone an apology, she began. I believed leadership meant never showing fear. I was wrong. Strength isn't pretending you're okay. It's trusting people enough to ask for help. The room was silent. Many employees looked shocked. Some even cried. After the meeting, she stopped by my desk. You saved me. I didn't. You stayed. Sometimes that's enough. Months passed. The hotel changed. Victoria introduced mental health support for employees. Managers received leadership training focused on empathy instead of intimidation. Staff turnover dropped dramatically. People actually enjoyed coming to work. One evening, another charity gala filled the ballroom. The orchestra began playing the exact same waltz from months earlier. Victoria walked over with a smile. Would you care to dance? This time, she wasn't shaking. She wasn't looking toward the door. She wasn't afraid. As we finished the dance, the audience applauded once again. She smiled. A genuine smile. You know, she said. Last year I asked you not to leave me. I nodded. This year, I don't need saving anymore. But I'd still like you to stay. I laughed. I think I will. Sometimes the strongest people aren't the ones who never break. They're the ones who find the courage to trust someone after they've been broken. And sometimes, the simplest act of kindness isn't solving someone's problems. It's standing beside them until they remember they don't have to face them alone.